Okay, start now.
Oh, I heard a little click. So um. Anyways, yeah, we'll figure that out. But like I said, you did such a good job with Chad that I assume that you can do that, and then I'll just chime in whenever I need to.
Okay. I like how you were like filling in some of the. I like how you were like taking some of the questions too, so it wasn't just all me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I was getting kind of nervous.
Oh yeah, you don't need to be nervous.
Yeah, I know, but I can't help it.
Yeah. I know.
I get nervous brushing in my teeth because I have an audience of one in the mirror.
Dude, I'm like, okay, full disclosure, I kind of stopped taking my anxiety meds about a month ago, slowly, and I've just been like, I think I can deal with stuff right now, and so I've been pretty chill that way, and but we got this stimmy money, right? And I'm guess I'm not supposed to say stimmy. Who says we're not supposed to say stimmy anymore?
Never heard that one.
Really? Oh, there was some.
My wife says it, so I thought it'd been cool, but
oh, I know who it is, but never mind. That's why you probably haven't heard of it. Anyways, my stimulus check money that I got in, I'm not used to having any money.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't like it. Having a little bit of money in my bank account is kind of what I'm used to. So having $1,400 in my account all of a sudden is actually giving me. It's making me worry about finances more because I'm afraid I'm just going to spend all that money like that. But I don't want to because I can't remember the last time I've actually had that much money in my personal bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Because I pay bills. I'm the breadwinner of the house. So pretty much everything I make goes to our house and all the other bills that it takes to live, groceries, because you got a 14-year-old kid that's a bottomless pit of nothingness when it comes to food.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'm like, holy crap! So I don't want to spend it because it's there. But I'm extra worried now because I feel like I could spend it very quickly if I really really wanted to because I'm starting to think about all the stuff I've always wanted to get.
Yeah, you almost blew it on a scooter the other day.
I know.
And I was going to be proud of you. But,
I know. You know what we went and looked at today? You're not going to like this, but before we get started,
what?
I went to Lyle's Tires. And I looked at sweet rims for my truck.
It's so stupid. You're dumb. Why would you do that?
I have always wanted... No. Shut up. I've always wanted sweet rims for my truck.
Oh, man.
I own my truck. It's mine. Right? It's paid for. Nobody can take it. I want to drive down the road and have people look at my truck and go like, wow, that's a sweet truck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've driven some nice stuff and I've driven some junk.
Yeah.
It all gets you to the same place, the same. I don't waste money on stuff like that.
Well, to be honest with you, I treat my real truck about as good as I treat my RC cars. So, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I had an oil change.
Yeah, I need to do mine.
So I'm not sure I'm not sure if spending that much money. I'm not sure if spending that much money on rims is a wise choice either.
Well, here's the thing, it doesn't add any value to your car or your truck. So you go to sell it in 5 years or something. I don't know.
Well, if I go to sell it, I'm taking the rims off of my truck and I'm putting the originals back on.
Yeah, but what would you do with them then? Get another one that takes the same wheels?
I guess so. I hope so.
Yeah.
I also looked at boats. I tried to look at boats today. I want a little bass buggy. Like a little 2-seater bass buggy that Emerson and I can go out on the local lakes on. I've always wanted one of those too. And nobody has any because of this situation we've been in for the last year. Everybody's out of stock. Mm-hmm. Nobody's got nothing.
Yeah.
So that kind of takes care of that for me. I'm not going to spend money on that, at least not right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just I don't know.
You should get an item, not an add on to an item.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna get a block engine here pretty soon. I'm gonna spend some of my money on that. Oh, and I'm getting a new windshield on my truck because I've been driving around with a cracked windshield for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool.
So you don't have a truck payment?
Nope.
It's paid for?
Yep.
Huh. Get a scooter.
I know. I'll look at those too. I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So we are actually, well, hang on here. This is Alex Sturgeon, by the way, with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex. And with me, as always,
Will Brinton.
And we are the Hobbyplex Show podcast coming to you right now live on YouTube, the uncut raw version. And then this gets edited up and makes the sound really cool and maybe some funny stuff added in, and comes out on Fridays on your favorite podcasting apps. And this show is brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. If you get a hold of Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad and mention our show, you can get a $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate. And Will, you'll be happy to know, maybe, I don't know, that we are signing the dotted lines to do a refinance through Pivot Lending.
Crossing the T's and dotting the lowercase J's, huh?
Yep, we e-signatured a whole 40 pages of paperwork today.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
So what does a refinance do? It just gives you it's a loan against what you've owe.
No,
I don't know how it even works.
So basically, the refinance is paying off your current mortgage that you have, and then basically you get a new mortgage with a lower interest rate. Hopefully, otherwise it's not worth it.
No.
Yeah.
So then.
So the whole idea is
do you get money back from that?
You can, yeah. The whole idea is to save money in the long run.
So
our old interest rate was 4%, and now it's way lower than that. So we actually are saving quite a bit.
Did you go for the 0.125 off your
interest rate? I did. I did, and to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if we got either or. I know we got one of the two, but I can't remember. Yeah. I mentioned it. She's like, "Oh yeah," and then all of a sudden, some of the stuff that I had to pay for, I didn't have to pay for. So I assume I took the $500 lender credit.
Oh.
I guess.
Neat.
I don't know if that was a smart thing to do. We were just working up the numbers, and it ended up being this way, and that's what Gretchen and I agreed on. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty awesome.
Sense. Yeah.
What did I want to talk about this week?
Oh.
What do you want to talk about this week?
I don't know.
Well, let's talk about the ProTech race first.
Okay.
All right. So the ProTech race, the ProTech Spring Off-Road Champs, is the new ProTech's the new title sponsor to our annual spring race. And I checked Sunday. I didn't have much time to check Sunday, but I did check Sunday. I think after we closed, just to look and see where we're at. I think we're at 240 online entries right now. And kind of like I said in the past, our spring race generally doesn't sell out with online entries, so I don't really worry about the pay stuff like I was with the J Concepts race.
Yeah.
Where we sold out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of, if you look on the entry list, it's kind of all the same people that would show up for a Summer Series race.
Right.
Except they're all there basically at the same time. At least you hope so.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's like the big Summer Series kickoff warm up. But you get some trophies.
Yep. And speaking of that, I got to get those things. Start talking about getting them ordered and designed, and get that going. I need to get our Summer Series flyer done, and then I want to talk about what I didn't talk about it last week, right? Well, I kind of hinted at it, what I was thinking of, but I was thinking of another weekend sort of shindig, but nothing but trucks.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to do it on Saturdays, on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday, as soon as I mentioned Sunday, I could feel the I don't know, just
the tension.
Yeah, the tension start to rise up through the Facebook message screens and stuff of Sundays, no way. And I mean, I've always wanted to do something really laid back and simple on Sunday, so I wouldn't have to be there all day. But
yeah,
but I can also see why a lot of these guys wouldn't want to have it on Sundays. If you're traveling from out of town, you wouldn't want to come on a Sunday because then you got to work Monday.
Yeah,
unless you're me and you work every single weekend.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have been able to make Sundays consistently or whatever.
Yeah.
But
so I'm thinking about
if more people could have whatever for the greater good.
Yeah.
You know?
So basically the dates that I tried to find are kind of in between our Summer Series races, but I also took a look at like Kansas City Summer Series because if we want to get any gas truck guys, we can't plop down on top of their dates. Right. And so, so I'm thinking about having it just be June, July, and August.
Mm-hmm.
Just one Saturday a month in between the Summer Series, halfway between, each Summer Series race.
Mm-hmm.
Because I looked at regionals because we got invited to host the Aurora regionals, and I was going to put them October 1st and 2nd, but that weekend's Fastlane's last Summer Series race.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to have them, I think, the weekend of the 26th of September instead. Mm-hmm. So it's 2 weeks after the end of our Summer Series and 1 week before the end of Fastlane Summer Series. So if we want to get some KC guys to join, I think that's the smartest play.
Yeah, no, I think so.
And then that means that the syndicate can start in October again and run through January.
I hope that we get at least like half of the gas truck guys from Kansas City to come up, because I've heard this number thrown around. They have like 20 guys.
Yeah,
that are racing gas truck down there.
But you know how it is, though.
Yeah, I know.
People say there's 20, and then like 4 people show up.
Well, I mean, I think that there's at least 20 people that have trucks. Yeah. That's why I said I'd hope for half of them to come up.
I'm not a naysayer.
That would be awesome.
I'm not a naysayer in any way. I've been doing this long enough to know.
It's just a realistic thing.
Like E-Truggy, for instance. Every single year, it's oh my God, we got so many guys lined up for E-Trugging at the Techno Series. And the 1 year I was like, oh, okay, go for it. Let's see what happens. And like 2 people showed up with E-Truggies.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That thing's just got to be a wear machine. Like all that power and just just going to the drivetrain, the big tires, like every pin and everything in that drivetrain's got to wear out like instantly.
Yeah. So those of you that are on YouTube right now, just know that we try to get to the questions at the end. There's not a lot going on this week, so we should be able to get to some questions here the last half hour. But if you want to answer right away, you're more than welcome to drop a super chat. Then we'll interrupt everything and answer your question. But until then, we'll go back and look through all these questions right at the end. So I have a brand new segment that I would like to partake in. We won't do this every single week, but we were so busy today because everybody's spending their government money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I have a list of things I heard this week. And it's pretty funny.
No, I'd like to hear it.
All right.
If so it's funny.
It's funny.
If it's not, I'm going to be very disappointed.
All right. So one of the first things that I heard this week that I had to write down, because I just started writing them down because I was hearing so much stuff a lot of this is overheard. A lot of this was said to me. A lot of this was on the phone, whatever. I heard somebody call the Bandit, the Traxxas Bandit, the Trax Max Bandito.
I've heard Bandito before.
And I've heard Trax Max before, so it makes sense to put them together. Mm-hmm. But that was one of the first ones I'm like, that's pretty funny. Trax
it's
Max.
Like the ultimate missender.
Yeah.
Misreading.
We got a phone call for do we carry jailbroke phones?
So, when I worked at Dan and Chelsea's store in Lincoln, they had this thing that was like that Build-A-Bear thing that corporate tried to do.
I remember that.
It was inside of the store called Animal Creation Station.
Yep.
And somebody called and they said, "Yes, I have an animal and I would like to bring them to you. It passed away last night." and I was like, "Well, we don't stuff animals here." And they were like, oh, aren't you animal cremation station? No, animal creation station. Oh, yeah, it's like Build-A-Bear. It's like we can't stuff your cat.
Who would actually in the right mind though think Hobbytown animal cremation?
Well,
like who puts those two things together, man?
Yeah, I think that it had its own phone number and phone line.
Oh.
And its own ad.
I could see that because people think that we're a Radio Shack too.
Yeah, right.
And
but it's still fun. Heck.
It's totally funny. So
I was like, I couldn't breathe for like 5 minutes.
The Radio Shack thing is crazy because sometimes people will come in and be like, is there a Radio Shack here? And we show them the Radio Shack aisle and they're like, oh, and they're usually really happy, but then they want to ask me something about something that I'm clearly unaware of when it comes to wiring up switches or using resistors or stuff like that.
You're like, I'm building this ham radio set.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, man. And they're like, well, don't they train you in Radio Shack? And I'm like, no.
Hell no. Hell no, man.
I'm sorry.
Like, no, man. Shit, no, man. You're like Office Space.
Oh yeah, I got one of these this weekend on Sunday actually. A guy bought a nitro car, couldn't get it fired up. I tried to explain it to him over the phone, and he goes, "I'm a mechanic, man. I don't need your help with nitro." And I was like, "Oh, well, why are you calling me that?" Like in my head, I'm like, "Well, you're calling me right now asking for help."
Well, you're like, oh, okay, I guess I have the wrong number, and then hang up on him. My favorite is the guy that's like, I'm an AFC certified mechanic. AFC, like they say it wrong. It's AFC. Anyway,
that was one of the ones that I hear often though is unfortunately people who are really good at real cars sometimes find it hard to get a nitro car running, like it, or like I was trying to explain how to heat the engine up, and they're like, "Well, man, I got it inside my house," and I'm like, "Yeah, your house is 70 degrees. It's still not warm enough. It's not hot.
Yeah, it needs to be like 100.
Yeah,
and 20.
Yeah,
200.
200. Yeah, 200, 150 to 200 to get it fired up for the first time, especially. So that was a good one. Jackson Anderson apparently pronounces Orion.
Dude, there's a guy that kept saying that the other day. It's funny.
At the track?
Oh, yeah, Orion.
Orion.
It might have been Jackson. I don't remember.
I got a phone call, and they were asking for upper. They go, okay, this is how it went. Yeah. Do you guys have upper and lower control arms? And I'm like, for what? For an RC car? And I had to flush out which RC car they had. And then the funny thing was, it wasn't even it was a Kratos.
What's that?
I don't know. Is that the Corrali thing? The Corrali like Arma knockoff? Is it the Kratos?
I didn't even know there was.
I didn't even know there was either. And so I was like, are you sure it's not Creighton? And he was like, no, pretty sure. Yeah, it's Kratos. I'm like, I have no idea then. I'm sorry. And I think they came in and actually bought Creighton arms. So I'm pretty sure it was a Creighton. So then this is another thing. So I was sitting there at the computer, and I was actually looking up a part for somebody. We only have 2 computers. So you got one computer, and you're trying to bring up as many people as you can, but sometimes you need the computer to look up parts for somebody. And I'm sitting there trying to look up a part, and this guy comes up, and he throws down a pack of cookies, and he goes cookies, because he wanted to buy cookies, but he apparently couldn't verbalize that he wanted to buy cookies, so it was cookies.
You're like, all right, that'll be $2.99.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, $1.50, sir. And then, did I have anything? Oh yeah,
He hands you like $1.50 bill.
yeah.
Like it's super stupid.
And then finally, the whole reason why I started this list this week was because I heard a new version of Typhoon. So again, it's Typhon, not Typhoon. There's only one O, and there's not a little line on top of the O, so it's Typhon, not Typhoon. But I heard somebody call a Typhoon, or Jesus, a Typhon, an aroma typhoon.
Huh.
Instead of Arma. It was Arma's now Aroma. They took away the R and they added an O.
Neat.
Yeah, Aroma.
I still call it a typhoon though. Like a typhoon.
A typhoon.
I still call it a typhoon.
Yeah, you and everybody else.
Typhoon sounds wrong. Typhoon sounds common. I know what a typhoon is. I don't know what a typhoon is. But I still call it a typhoon.
A typhoon's a really cool looking Chevy Blazer from the early 90s.
Yeah.
It's also like a hurricane, except not in America. They don't call hurricanes typhoons. They call them typhoons in like the Pacific.
Oh.
Right?
That's the only difference?
Yeah. A typhoon and a hurricane are the exact same thing, except that
I thought a typhoon was smaller than a hurricane.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm not a...
Yeah, it's all about where they're located.
I'm not a geologist, so I don't know.
Geologist. Randy.
Yeah. Oh, meteorologist.
Meteorologist. I should have been a meteorologist. I could be wrong 50% of the time and still keep my job. It'd be great.
Yeah, and everybody'd hate you.
Yeah, everybody would hate me. Get
death. It's supposed to rain this weekend. I'm gonna make it rain.
Get death threats.
Sorry.
Get death threats all of a sudden. Speaking of that, so you know how Monday's off, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about Mondays, but why does it always rain whenever I have days off that I expect to, like, it's finally nice out. I want to go ride my bike or I want to do something outside. And then it rains all day on Monday and Tuesday.
I don't know. I wanted to work on my scooter last night, or yesterday, but I got stuck painting a bedroom. So it's like dark out, and I go out in the garage and rejet that thing again and start running it while it's dark out. And like the neighbors, like I can see the lights come on and people looking outside their windows and stuff because that thing's so loud. I think the neighbors on the corner are going to call the police on me sometime this summer. I'm just waiting for it. I can't wait.
Nice. I purged a bad part of my life last night. Actually, after I got home from work, I got on my bike and I rode around Standing Bear Lake, and I actually made it this time without any trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. You gotta get back up on that horse.
Yeah. So October last year, it was towards the end of the season. I think the trails were wet, so I'm like, you know what? It's nice out. I'm gonna go ride my bike around Standing Bear Lake, and I went to announce my presence on your left, and then these three ladies, one of them looked behind her, screamed, and jumped left right into my path with a baby stroller, and I didn't want to run over a baby. So I bailed off the trail and I ended up in a ditch, and I went over the bars and hurt myself really bad. So, you know, I was actually having a conversation with myself as I was getting ready to go. I'm like, should I put on a helmet?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just riding around Standing Bear on paved trails, which is what I said last time. And that's when that happened. So
did you wear a helmet?
I did not.
Yeah, I don't.
It's weird because like I'm like, yeah, I've been riding bikes without a helmet on the street since I was like 4 years old. Why? Who cares? And then that happened last year.
if Nebraska didn't have a helmet law, I wouldn't wear a helmet.
Yeah, there's a
on
lot
the
of
scooter.
dude. I know a lot of riders that are like that.
It's just so they can identify the body.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So that was fun. Got that done, and then it rained. So at least I got in one ride before it rained. So, anyways, what else is there to talk about? There's not really much news this week.
I'm gonna get hate mail for saying that, probably.
What?
Oh well, the helmet thing.
The helmet thing? No, I bet you a lot of people agree with you.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, why do you think riders bypass Nebraska when they go to Sturgis?
Too cool.
Same reason.
Don't want to look stupid with a helmet on.
Yeah. Whoa, my phone's going nuts. Hey, do you want to talk about the racing this weekend then? Since we're making good time here, so we actually have to be done by 8:00. They're having a pivot lending podcast at 8 p.m. tonight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is Aiden Olson's dad there now?
He's not. I think they're going to do it remotely.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So let me get into Live RC here, and we'll talk about racing this weekend. So I just want to mention again, we'll talk about Friday night. I think we skipped Friday night last week.
Yeah, we have been.
But Friday was pretty good. It wasn't like a record breaker like it was a couple weeks ago with almost 50 Plex spec entries, but holy crap, there was still actually we had another really good weekend now that I think about it. So we had 49 entries on Family Friday Off-Road, we had 80 entries Saturday Speed Off-Road, and then we had 67 entries for the Hobbyplex Dirt Oval Finals. So again, I mean, we're just rolling right along, having good race days, which is what it's all about. So there was 3 heats of Plex spec, and I want to look at how many Plexers there were. Where are we at? Because Plex spec to me on Friday nights is all that really matters. I mean, I'm glad the other guys are there too, but as long as we have 2 or 3 heats of Plex, I'm super happy no matter what happens. There was 34 Plexers. So still, I mean, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
All things considered. So, that's the wrong one. So the Plex Spec A main, kind of the same, it's kind of some familiar names. How about Josiah Roby coming out of the woodwork again? He just kind of hangs around and races every once in a while, and he took the win in Plex Spec. Just a couple seconds in front of Steve Wall. Josh McMullen was 3rd. Trey Wysocki was 4th. Paul Yoder was 5th. Torian Winston, speaking of coming out of the woodwork, hasn't raced in forever, finished 6th. Eli Webb, the Webb brothers were 7th and 8th. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then there was a buggy class between Jackson Anderson, Ashley McCormick, and Tommy Smith. That's how they finished. Jackson took the win. Ashley was 2nd. Tommy was 3rd. Looks like Tommy broke out. And then there was a stock buggy class, and there was tons of them. I mean, it feels like there was more than 6 because I was there watching. Trey Wysocki took the win by a lot. Cody Kupke was 2nd. Dan Johnson was 3rd. Nick Corbin was 4th. Sheldon Portnell was 5th. And Nick Chestnut, our guy Nick Chestnut, was 6th. And then E-Buggy.
I wonder if he's related to Noah Chestnut. There is this guy that used to race in Lincoln. His name was Noah.
Really? I'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
Or he could be on here.
Yeah. I just, yeah.
So I got a chance to qualify, and then, or did I qualify, or did I just? Yeah, I qualified. I missed the first round of qualifying. TQ'd the second round in E-Buggy, and then got a TQ and a win with my E-Buggy. And Easton McCormick finished 2nd. Tommy was 3rd. Jackson Anderson 4th. Steve Wall was 5th, and Trey Wysocki was 5th. This was kind of a mixed bag class, though. I think it was just me, Easton, and Trey Wysocki. Oh, and Steve Wall. Steve Wall also had an 8 scale. I think Tommy and Jackson were both running different cars. I think Tommy was going to run his 4-wheel drive, and Jackson was going to run something else. So Nick just said, sadly, yes. I'm looking down. I don't even know who that is.
Oh man, that's funny.
I'm only laughing because you're laughing because I have no idea what we're laughing at.
No, nothing, no.
All right, let's move on to Saturdays. I'm going to talk about e-buggy, but I'll talk about it with the Saturday racing. And all right, so Saturday speed. This was our final triple scoop of the winter. I think we can finally kind of close the door on winter racing now, right? Because it's spring officially as of Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then the next time that we race 10th scale won't be until April. It'll be April 10th.
Yeah.
We got 2 weeks off. So 80 entries, and we had a couple lower mains, independent buggy and 13.5 wheeler. Everybody else was kind of, I stuffed everybody in A mains. Plex Spec was a lot of fun. Got a video of it up on YouTube. And how about the Webb brothers? They finished 7th and 8th or 8th and 10th or whatever it was on Friday, but here on Saturday, they got first and second. Eli TQ'd, but Cole really had a good drive, and he won it. He qualified third, finished first. Eli was second. Dalton Conrad was third. This was a really good race, and Andrew Thomas too with the Super Bandit. Mm-hmm. Soon to be a 4-wheel drive. I think a B74 is what they bought from the Plex.
Ooh.
Yeah. So these four had a really close race. Jake Conrad was also in it. And then Eli getting better and better. Eli Vanderbeek doing 9 laps, man. Kid's like 4 years old. And he's a spitting image of his dad. It's crazy. He's like a super mini me.
Yeah, he looks exactly like Mac.
He does. Riker Haley was 7th. Henry Hollabo is his first time racing there. Got 8th. Angie Vanderbeek was 9th, Sawyer Haley was 10th, and Sydney Johnson was 11th. So we put all 11 cars. So if you add, we had 34 and 11, so still had almost 50 Plex Spec entries. That's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. Then after that, we had stock buggies. So I put the expert stock buggies first just because of the corner marshalling situation. Jackson Anderson qualified third, had a weird day qualifying, but ended up taking the win. Dustin Hosick got the TQ, finished second. Nick Pavlo was third. Rob Connor was fourth. Jerry Doherty was fifth. Jason Haley was sixth. And Jonathan Kinzer qualified second, and he broke out. I think he broke his wheel off. So Jackson continuing to dominate these main events. In Stadium Truck, Mac Vanderbeek and Wade Gehring both kind of locked up their first and second position in the points part of it, and so Mac didn't even race, and Wade wasn't here. So I actually have Wade's $7 gift certificate in my pit area.
Ooh.
Yeah. Brian Burnt took the win ahead of Brian Cox. Brian Burnt broke in round 1, didn't quite get fast enough for TQ in round 2, and then ended up taking the win here in the main. Then it was Brian Cox, Brady Papanow, Phil Palmer, and Dan Johnson. And then 4-wheel drive mod. Owen Vanderbeek locked up 13.5 last week, so he ended up running mod 4-wheel drive for the fun of it. I'm glad nobody took the triple scoop that seriously either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't really something. It's not like, I feel like our entire year kind of builds up towards the summer series.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it was just kind of one of those things where, hey, let's club race, but then at the same time, we're kind of keeping track of it a little bit. Mm-hmm. But that being said, Aiden Olson, TQ in a win. Mitchell Pavel qualified third, finished second. Owen Vanderbeek qualified second, finished third. John Haas running his Techno, finishing fourth. And then the Hartshorns, Dylan and Chad. In mod 4-wheel. And then independent stock buggy, a really good turnout. Had 2 full heats of independent buggy. How about Daniel Bender, dude?
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Like, he's been racing 4-wheel drive this whole time. He gets a 2-wheel drive car. This is his first time, I believe, that he's actually driven it or raced it or whatever. Maybe he's driven it, but
this would be the second time.
Is it the second time? But I mean, he just crushed everybody.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even that close. Like, he crashed once, Jake had the lead for like 2 turns, and then he flipped, and then that was it.
Yeah.
So, and Bender's car looked strapped. It looked like it had grip, and he was driving aggressively around the track. He was going for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty awesome. You think he's gonna skip Plex Spec altogether in the summer series?
Daniel?
Yeah.
I told him to.
Right?
Like I said that now you're to the point where Plex Spec isn't really you've kind of graduated.
Right.
Without winning it. Like you kind of got to the point where you don't really need to run it anymore.
Yeah, you just kind of bypassed it. It'd almost be like, I think for him it'd almost be like sandbagging, basically.
Yeah, it would be.
You know?
Yeah. That's kind of what I was telling him.
Because in past years, it's almost been like Summer Series Plex Spec. There's been these kids that you think, okay, this is their year to win Plex Spec. Like everything's lining up for them to get the Plex Spec champs, so that so they'll get booted out permanently.
Yeah.
But then something like this happens where somebody's skills bypass what we would consider to be a Plex Spec racer in the time frame from maybe midsummer to the next summer series, where it's time for them to run independent and 13.5 or whatever. So
yeah, I told him to worry about getting an independent 2-wheel buggy win at the summer series. That needs to be his goal, not winning.
Honestly, looking at his car and his times, that's totally feasible too. Absolutely.
Yep.
So Bender TQ in a win, and like I said, I got video of this one. He wrecked once, lost the lead for like 2 turns, and then got it back and never really looked back. Jake Poteet qualifying 4th, finished 2nd. Brady Papineau was 3rd. Jason Haley was 4th. Jared Doherty was 5th. Lance Murray up there in 6th. Phil Palmer dropped down quite a bit. 7th. Troy Saunders. Nice to see the Saunders out. Troy and Sam finishing 8th. Max Doherty was 9th, and Sam Saunders was 10th. And I think Sam broke. Pretty sure. All right, Mod Buggy. So how about you? You TQ'd?
Yeah.
And I when I was looking at the lineup on Saturday, I'm like, okay, well, Will, in my opinion, not taking anything away from any of the guys that signed up, because there was 10 mod 2-wheel drives, but I'm like, this could be Will's day. But then
but it wasn't.
But we kind of forgot about Rico, maybe.
I didn't.
I don't think you did, but I was in. I honestly, I probably did.
Yeah. No, he ran a really good race. Coming up that tabletop, my car just went like to the left and landed funny, and I got him back, and then I crashed again.
Yeah.
And like my car, I don't know if I tweaked something or what. I like scrubbed a pipe a little bit, or really it just started doing it in the middle of that race where it just kept drifting left. And I was trying to like compensate it by like steering towards the right to get it to drive straight. But oh well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Chad drove a really good race. Yeah. He's clean.
Very clean. So. Got that extra lap too. You just missed it. 2.283, so almost 300ths of a second.
Yeah,
you would have got that. You would have got that extra lap. Then who knows? But yeah, he was out in front and definitely staying there. So he got second. I mean, that's Alex Vanderbeek kind of had the win in the series thing locked up. So a first or a second with a TQ still gave you 100 points. Still good enough to get the $7 gift certificate. Have you used that yet? Did you use it that night?
I actually gave it to Daniel.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I said, you deserve something for winning today, and gave it to Daniel.
Dude, I use mine. Not that often I get free ice cream.
I don't really eat ice cream. So.
Oh, I love ice cream.
I like it. I like it a lot.
You know what I like to do? Is at home. So when Gretchen was pregnant and we went to the hospital. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. When Gretchen started giving birth, she was actually at work. So my wife works in the baby floor at Bergen, and she was there working, just doing her regular job, and she started going labor. So I was like, oh my gosh. And so I drove down there. I had a awesome 3 or 4 days off. I can't remember how long it was, but I think it was like 3 days. So you get these giant hospital cups, right? And they are the best things ever. And I almost want to like get injured just so I can get one of these cups again, because I'm down to one cup. I've lost the other ones, or Gretchen might have thrown them away or whatever. But what I like to do is take cookies and cream ice cream and just shove as much in there as I can. And I take milk, pour it in there. And then I take chocolate syrup and I pour it in there. And then I take little donuts and I crumple them up in there. And then I take malt. And then I take malt powder, which is the bomb. And I put way more malt powder than you normally would in there. And then I take that hand drill thing that makes like asparagus shakes, and I just make a milkshake with that, and it is delicious. It is amazing.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Oh, it's so good, especially after a day where, like, if you forget to charge your battery for a main event, it's a good thing to drink when you're home afterwards.
Yeah, I would. If I were you, I'd have been hitting something a little harder. I would have probably been getting into the whiskey that night.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
We got a super chat. Hang on.
Finally.
Yeah. Nick Nuthouse dropping $10.
Woo!
Any thoughts on VRC Pro or other RC driving simulators? Looking to get more practice time. Just can't get to the track often with the busy kids' schedules.
There's guys that play that or do that. They've never raced RC before. Like when COVID first hit, there's people using that. And like, there's people that were playing that, but they'd never raced an RC car before. They're like, you can do this for real. They just thought it was like a Rocket League type thing. But like, I remember when that first came out on like Windows XP or something, and I couldn't do it. And I tried to do it like again in recent time. Yeah, I still couldn't do it.
It's gotten better. Mitchell would bring his laptop to the track and actually just sit there and play it at the track. And I took over it a few times. It's okay. Yeah. It's not, it's not like an airplane simulator, right? So I can attest to the fact that you can take Real Flight 9.5 or whatever, even I have a Real Flight 3. Okay. Still, and every once in a while I'll get it out, and I'll just, because if it's a rainy day or something I feel like flying, even something as old as that, you can do that, and then it'll translate for the most part to real life, right? But VRC still doesn't quite do that. It's something about the way that the cars feel, as opposed to how they feel in real life when you're driving. I feel like in real life we can gauge traction level by how our cars are feeling. It just transfers up into us, and we can really. It's just a feel thing. You can feel it either work or not work. Whereas VRC still seems like you can't quite get that yet. It's almost just like you're driving it, but you can't really feel the track. Am I explaining that?
For me, it's the way the camera moves with the car.
Well, you can you can change that though.
Oh, I don't know.
So some of the guys get it where it zooms right in on their car, and I definitely can't do that. I have to have peripheral, but you can change that on there a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how it makes me kind of like seasick.
Yeah. But I think it's cool. I think it's really neat too to experience other tracks, because they do have real life other tracks out there. I remember getting an email, had to have been a while ago now, because I think when did Mike's RC close? Was it 11 or 12?
We were there in 12.
Yeah, so they had a version of Mike's RC track from like one of the short course showdowns in that. And then I think we got an email that wanted to know if we wanted to do it, and then we had to do this like. We had to give them our dimensions and all this other stuff too to go with it. And I never followed up with that. I kind of wish I would have, but I never did.
Yeah, you should
have. But it is kind of cool. Like, I think Pattaya, am I pronouncing that right? Pattaya? the world's track in the Philippines or whatever.
Oh yeah,
or Thailand
yeah.
is on there. There's a big European track, and I can't remember the name of it right now. Anyways, there's all these really cool tracks. So it is really cool to do that. But as far as like preparing yourself for real life RC cars, I don't think it's quite there just yet. But the rest of it's freaking cool. I mean, it's fun, and especially it's another way to compete because you can get into these things and compete against real people.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like another thing. Like for me, at least. Like I'm sure if I practiced enough at it, I would be better at it. But like, I don't know. It's hard to use that as a substitute from going to the track.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's almost like you just need to play video games,
dude.
It's like
telling you,
I play video games all the time.
Supercross 4.
And,
that's Supercross 3 and 4. I love when I'm in the mood to race and I can't get to the track. That's my go-to thing, and it almost I get inspired sometimes by that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go race more, and I want to do my RC cars.
Like I started playing Super Mario 64, which is like the worst like controlling thing ever.
Yeah.
And like now I'm pretty good at it, and like even when I like a couple of years ago, or whenever I started trying to play that again, like I noticed like at the track it was just easier to get my car around.
Yeah.
Like just play Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
To get out your old Nintendo 64 and blow it off and just play that. That'll get your coordination working.
I miss my Nintendo 64. I'm playing Mario Party and getting this like blister right here in the middle of the hand from doing this the whole time. That's back when I had video games, when I used to work at a video game store.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago. Okay, so I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, me too.
They're cool, you know. Anyways, Jeremy Fellows finished third.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he got himself a $5 gift certificate.
Yeah, he did. He took the kids out.
Yeah, yep. Mitchell Pavel went from 6th to 4th. He actually beat Aiden Olson.
Wow.
That doesn't happen very often anymore because Aiden's been fast lately. But
yeah.
Aiden finished 5th. Mac Vanderbeek jumped in on the last second and ended up finishing 6th. And he beat his kid, Owen, by 2 seconds. Jackson Anderson was 8th. Brian Cox was 9th. Brian Burnt was 10th. I think, and the good news is everybody finished, so that's always nice.
Yeah, that's always good. That's a good day.
Okay, 13-5. We're almost done here with results. 13-5, Dustin Hosick got the win. John Kinzer finished 2nd from 4th, and then Corey Tannehill got the TQ and a 2nd. I'm sorry, TQ and 3rd. And then Ronnie Went. Ronnie was having a pretty good day. Finished 4th. Nick Pavel was 5th. Brian Kiever was 6th. Jake Poteet was 7th. Lance Murray was 8th. Daniel Bender was 9th. And T. Roy Saunders and Sam Saunders were 10th and 11th. There was 11 13-5 wheelers, so I'm just like, I'll just put you guys all in the same.
Yeah.
Or there was a B main, and I think Rob Connor couldn't run, so we just threw them all in together. Then Mini Truggy. So Mini Truggy, I TQ'd, and then was it a dick move for me to wait and be a lap down? I was trying to make it fun.
No, I don't know. I wasn't racing, so I didn't know what you were doing. I was like, what is he doing?
Okay.
Nobody told me, and then I was like,
well, because I qualified a lap ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go lap down, and then see what happens. And then the crap, I've done this a couple times, and the crappy thing about doing that, it only works if everybody doesn't crash the first lap.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to be, I'm trying to be. If I'm going to be a lap down, I'm going to be a lap down to everybody, right? So if the 7th and 8th place guys keep crashing and they have like a 40-second lap instead of a 20-second lap, that kind of
you're kind of starting 2 laps down.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's what it kind of felt like.
Well, then like some I don't know if the guys were making up a Joker lane or what, but like there was like it was just like Mini Truggy was just like a free for all. Like
was it?
It looked like a good time, but yeah, I think I think those guys were using a makeshift Joker lane somehow.
Oh, I know an 8 skill at the end they were.
Yeah, no,
Right.
mini trucky they were too.
Oh, really? Oh, well, okay, whatever.
I thought you knew about it.
I had no idea.
I think it was mini truggy too. I don't know. Maybe Ronnie's listening. He can chime in.
Yeah, I watched the video. I think Ronnie led after I got into John on accident. So I was getting my lap back, and we're coming up that little roller before the straightaway. And from where I'm standing, I thought I was clear, and I punched it, and I ran right into him. And so then I waited, and then Ronnie got around both him and Jake, and then I think Ronnie led from that point on. So,
oh, that's cool. Yeah, I have no idea. I was just running the race, so I wasn't really watching.
Ronnie went from the fourth to the first. I got a second. My points wise though, I tied for the 100, so kind of worked out either way.
Yeah.
Jake Poteet finished third. He had second until like the last half of the last lap. He flipped it, tried to get inside of him, and then I got crunched on by another car, and then we ended up, it was like a melee after that. John Haas finished fourth. Nate Will was fifth. Dylan Hartshorn was sixth. Trey Wysocki was seventh, and Chad Hartshorn was eighth. So we still had 8 mini truggies again on a club day. It's like my favorite, one of my favorite classes to run in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just handle really good.
Yeah.
And then e-buggy. I really worked on my e-buggy today, or not today, Saturday. Not setup-wise, but setup-wise and then electronics.
Mm-hmm.
So I was having some weird issues where my car was like running on, and it happened at the Techno Series too. Right, I'd let off the gas and it would just keep going, and it was freaking me out because I just bought all new electronics for it, and they're not cheap, and I don't get stuff for free or anything, so it's all out of pocket. So I hooked up a sensor wire Saturday morning to my car because I actually wasn't running one, and I drove it for like 2 laps. So I'm like, oh, maybe that's what it was. And then all of a sudden it started cogging and making weird noises. So it worked, but then it didn't work. And then it got worse. So then I'm like, oh crap. So then I went in and I started playing with the brake settings and stuff. I had this coast thing turned up. I turned it all the way down. I actually added some drag brake, but then I realized that I still had it in, sensor mode only. So with Hobbywing ESCs, you can tell it that you want to be either sensor only or you want to be hybrid, and hybrid will let it run without a sensor wire. So like if you have like a bad sensor wire or your sensor wire comes out in the middle of a race, your cars theoretically shouldn't act any different. So I put it to hybrid, and I went out there, and all of a sudden the running on part was gone. So I actually had brakes. Like it actually was doing what it was supposed to be doing. Then I actually did start to go a little bit faster because on Friday nights I could not hit a 22 to save my life, and on Saturday I was hitting 22s, mid 22s.
Yeah,
still not crazy fast, but at least it was, respectable. So I worked on that. It felt good. Got a TQ and a win. John Kinzer finished second. Brian Kiever was third. Trey Wysocki was fourth, and Ronnie Went didn't start. Something was wrong with his car. I know in this race that a couple guys. I know John and Brian both did Joker laps.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was the race.
And then I tried to do a Joker lap and I crashed. But I did get a 21.8 or 21.2 with a Joker lap. So the only way that I can keep up with Mason Fuller is if I cut the track.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I'm not going to go through all the results, but I do want to mention that it was the end of the Oval Series 2. And like I said, we had 67 entries. That's a pretty good finish to the season. I think last year we were only averaging like 30 something. So doubling that is nice, and it kind of gives me a reason to work on the track again next year for him. I need to put more gutters up too to catch that the drip right in the middle of the front straightaway.
Yeah,
that condensation. All right, so we're going to take some. We're going to do a pivot landing break, and then we're going to take some questions.
Do you have the questions from last week, or
no, There's no way to go back.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. There's a
Okay.
whole new list here. So pivot
Well, if you
lending.
had a question last week, Adam.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with a Pivot Lending Update. Just want to kind of give you guys some of the activities going on in the conforming markets, some of the government markets, non-conforming jumbo markets. Now that we're into 2021, and here we go. Conforming loan limits have increased. So if you're looking for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, new loan limit is $548,250. So you can take a loan on up to that amount. In the high cost areas, so for example, a lot of the counties contiguous to like Denver, some of the bigger metro areas, and Denver itself, high loan limit is $822,375. So those are the new lending loan limits for conforming. In the government world right now, we have FHA loans. We can lend up to $356,362. So if you're looking for an FHA loan, you now can go up to $356,362. It's really good. That's about almost $100,000 more than we were at 5-6 years ago. Used to be around the 271 mark. VA loans, you can go up to the same as the conventional, $548,250. Jumbo loans are $548,251, all the way up to $3 million. So we do a pretty good job in that space, actually, too. We have offices in some heavily populated areas of jumbo land out in Southern California, Scottsdale. We're now entering into New England. So if you happen to be in that jumbo territory, we've got some really, really, really good jumbo rates. VA, again, that was the $548,250. The last thing is USDA. USDA income limits have increased now in 2021. The new limit starts at $90,300 and tiers off at $132,050. Those are based on your household sizes. So the number of head in the household that gets you into that program. USDA is really nice. It is populations 25,000 and less for your city or town size. There are a few counties in Nebraska that are grandfathered in, a few areas or cities, I should say. Norfolk and Columbus exceed that, but you can still get the USDA programs, I believe. You can also get into the USDA programs, which USDA is 100% financing. So it's very similar to the VA program. There are a few unique program guidelines that they offer. For example, if the appraised value is higher than the purchase price, you can actually borrow up to 100% of the appraised value to include in your closing costs. So that's pretty cool. All right, so those are kind of the updates for the loan limits and income limits going into this year. If you have any questions on those, make sure that you reach out to either myself or Dawn. I know that the guys on the podcast, Alex and Will, tend to say that I'm out and about a lot, and which is true, but I always have my cell phone on, 402-881-5951, or reach out to Don Zoller, of course. I can get back to you and give you some updates on what you're looking for, and then get you with Dawn if she's unable to answer the phone.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
I just stumbled upon a Facebook post in somewhere where they were talking about race formats. Does it get annoying to you when people say that our racing formats don't work or are broken, and yet we're all getting like really good turnouts?
What else is it supposed to be?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, like nobody's really come. Like everybody has these ideas, but other than having a huge event with like, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's other than having like giant events with this new format. There's really no other way to club race than the way we do it, unless we just ran heat races based on finishing order and you know what I mean. And lap times don't matter, just flat out racing. No qualifying, just racing for your position.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way dirt oval is. I mean,
yeah.
You draw for your first position, and then the first heat race is all your draw order. Then your second heat race is inverted, and then your main is your average of the two heats, your starting position. Then race it out.
Speaking of things I overheard, I've overheard numerous times guys at the track trying to figure out why or how in the world they qualified where they qualified. Like they don't even know how their qualifying system works.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, okay, I'm in the B. I don't even know how that works, but I guess I'm in the B or I'm in the A or whatever.
That time I raced dirt oval, I was the same way. I was like, I'm in this main, and they're like, yep, you're in this one. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Okay.
Like, I'd be out by the time I had somebody explain it, probably. So
yeah. I'm gonna pop open a Kickstart here, and then we're gonna get to some of these questions.
Okay.
All right. That's good. So I got last week I got some Pabst hard coffee, and for whatever reason I drank two of them like back to back on maybe a Tuesday night, and this is why I don't drink like Monsters and stuff, because my heart started to like beat really fast. So I can't do that. One's good, two bad.
Huh. Does it have caffeine in them?
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like a coffee for loco.
Yeah, basically.
Energy beer.
Dude, it's weird how many like mountain bike riders have like beer waiting for them after they're done.
It's like a thing. Like,
yeah,
you're right. What, you ride mountain bikes? Here, have a nice craft beer.
Yeah,
like the what's that?
the South Park episode with Kenny's dad and Kyle's dad. Where like Kenny's dad's got like a 6-pack of Pabst or something, and then Kyle's dad brings this 6-pack of like craft beers, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna try this one. And he starts to describe the flavor or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Kenny's dad's like, yeah, I don't really bother about that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I like some. I'm a dark beer guy. Like I like it like super dark beer.
I got some vanilla beer
like,
last week. I still haven't finished it off yet. It's not my favorite. Just give me a good Boulevard every once in a while. I'll be happy. I should just
Boulevard is probably like if I'm gonna have I used to drink a lot of Blue Moon.
Yeah.
But Blue Moon, it has so much like weed in it.
Wheat.
Like my joints and stuff will like hurt.
Oh.
I'm serious. Like my fingers hurt, and like
Really?
my knees and joints. I just feel like bloated for a day. And then if I drink Boulevard, I don't feel that way. And Josh turned me on to that.
Yeah.
Josh Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to look at guns today too, and everybody was out of guns. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know. I got this money. I'm trying to spend it. Nobody's got anything for me to spend it on. It's annoying.
You're like the one time I have.
Some money.
Nothing to.
You're
gonna buy a gun?
I've been thinking about. I want to. This is gonna sound really stupid, but I want a pistol-handled shotgun.
Yeah.
I've always wanted one of those. I don't know why. I just think it looks
I
cool.
I want a Mad Max style shotgun.
I honestly, what's been going on is we've been watching a lot of Walking Dead lately.
Yeah.
Like I never actually got into that show, and then Gretchen started watching it on Hulu, and then I'm like sitting down and I watched an episode, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and then it's gone on and on. So now we're watching Fear the Walking Dead, and so the more that I watch these shows, the more that I'm thinking, I probably should get a gun.
Yeah, it'd be sweet.
Like, what if zombies come out of nowhere and I need to like mow them down?
I don't have any guns.
Me neither. Anyways, all right. Steve RC. Are the dates in the calendar right for the summer series this year? I believe I updated our calendar all the way through to August or September, so I'm pretty sure they are. The first one is May 22nd. I think the second one is June 10th. The third one is July 12th. And then I think the first weekend in August, and then I think September 18th will be our finals for this season. But I know the first one for sure is May 22nd.
Yeah.
Palmer Bartlett wants to know, what is the best cheap nitro car?
Probably a Traxxas one.
Yeah, and then he backed it up with 4 beginners, and I would say probably a Nitro Rustler, Nitro Slash, even a T-Max.
Jotto.
Or a Jotto. Get yourself a Jotto.
That 2-speed transmission.
That used to go really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd get that Jotto 3.3,
Get the Jotto
dude.
3.3.
Easy start. But yeah, the T-Max is good. I mean, all those Traxxas cars, I mean, they seem to run fine.
Yeah.
Plastic pipe and plastic carburetor and all. Like they work. They're easy to break in. A lot of support.
Yeah.
Really, nitro and cheap don't go together. Is you're gonna have a bad time if you don't just spend a little more
Gas
money.
is $50 a gallon.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Traxxas fuel is.
Yeah.
I heard they actually didn't make any fuel this year.
Well, we've been getting some.
Yeah.
But yeah, 33% is $51.99 a gallon, and I think 20% is still 40 something a gallon.
Huh.
So it's almost doubled in price from where it was maybe 8 years ago.
I remember when people would complain when fuel was $15 a gallon.
And the Plex always had cheap fuel. Like it was like for a long time there, 20% Traxxas was like $22.99 a gallon.
Yeah.
And people would always come in who haven't done it in a long time and be like, "Oh my God, what, you guys trying to gouge us?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do. Try to buy that online.
Yeah, get it from somewhere else. Why don't you get it from that other place?
Why don't you try to buy a gallon from Maine and see what the hazmat fees are?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Oh, you don't want a bundle? Oh.
It's like the chapstick. He's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to bundle.
Where are we at? What are the 2 knobs on the Traxxas controller?
Trim and trim. One's throttle trim and the other one's steering trim.
Unless you have a car if you have a car with TSM, one is steering trim and the other one is to turn your TSM up or down.
Oh,
traction system management. You can turn it off or you can turn it full.
That's cool.
Yeah. Steve says, thanks for doing the motor replacement video Friday. You're welcome. Also helping my buddy Eugene out. He just started racing, so I didn't want him to miss a night. And I was like, you know what? I haven't done a how-to in a while. I'm like, why don't you video? So it was pretty cool having him video it. Can a 1/14th Truggy compete in the mini Truggy class? They're smaller by 2 inches, but have same performance. I mean, if you showed up at my track, with a mini, what is it? A mini 8T,
Yeah.
mini 8T, and you wanted to race, that's probably, unless you want to race Plex spec, I'd probably put you in with the mini Truggies.
Yeah.
I've driven one that was all decked out, like aluminum wise, and they actually drove really good. when they were out. I don't think they're out anymore. I don't think you can get them anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they make them anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, they actually the Truggies especially drove pretty cool. They were just not very tough. Like they broke
2
a
inches
lot.
shorter and all the performance.
They broke a lot. What's the difference between mini Truggy and stadium truck?
2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, basically, a mini Truggy is a shrunk down version. It's designed very much like an 8 scale. So it's a lot like a shrunk down. It's like they took their 8 scale Truggy and they just shrunk a lot of it down. So, and stadium trucks are just a 2-wheel drive. It's like a widened and lengthened version of a 2-wheel drive buggy. Right? Am I close?
Yeah.
I mean,
it would be.
Yeah.
I think it makes more like. I feel like calling it mini Truggy made that class sound more appealing. Like it's more of an appealing thing. But I mean, I always felt like it really should have been called 4-wheel drive stadium truck.
Yeah.
But
I looked back at the 2019 Spring Champs, and we did call it 4-wheel drive mod stadium truck.
Yeah.
But that doesn't come off the tongue the same way as mini Truggy.
4-wheel drive truck.
4-wheel drive truck.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I like mini Truggy. It's a mini Truggy.
I don't like calling Truggy. I
Remember-
don't. I just think it sounds so hillbilly.
Yeah. Remember when RC Pro called it arena truck instead?
No.
Yeah, that's
They
so.
should have just called it 8 scale truck.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't
Carl,
that what Roar calls it?
but no, because
Roar
there
calls
was an
it
8
that.
scale truck class, and it did not meet the exact. It was a different truck from a Truggy.
Oh, that's right.
Remember the
Just-
2001, they used to have 8 scale truck, and it was basically, I think it was just an 8 scale with a truck body on it and like taller, meatier tires.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
I remember, I think the Roar Nats at Pleasant Hill in like 2000, I think, Richard Saxton ran a 8 scale truck. So he ran, I believe it was 8 scale gas truck and 8 scale truck, and won all 3 of them so he could get the bonus money. There was
Really?
I think there was like 5 entries.
Huh.
And I remember it was a thing that everybody was talking about, how Saxton ran that class and he got the bonus money for it too.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah. I would.
I would too.
If I had the skill that I could do that, totally do it.
Mm-hmm.
Another question to the nitro thing. This is like a chain of questions. What's the best fuel for Nitro Rustler?
Probably Traxxas fuel.
Yeah, so here's the stupid thing about, not stupid, but here's the thing about Traxxas. They'll only warranty their engine if the blue residue from their fuel is inside of it.
Yeah.
So if you have a
I was just
Traxxas
gonna
car,
say that.
if you have a Traxxas car and you're using somebody else's fuel and it breaks a connecting rod or something, and you want to get it warranted through Traxxas, and you send it to them, and they'll go, "Oh, you weren't using our fuel. It's not under warranty." So, whenever somebody buys a Traxxas car, I generally tell them to get Traxxas fuel. Plus, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good sport fuel for just bashing around.
No, it's their own blend for their vehicles, and Traxxas is pretty meticulous about that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
if you want to have an overall good experience, no matter what happens, I would go with what they recommend.
Yep. Mad Thunder put Byron's, and I'm like, Byron's isn't around anymore, so we don't really have that option.
Yeah.
They don't make fuel
If I was
anymore.
going to run any fuel, it'd be VP fuel all the way.
How many classes do you do, Will? Peter Renault wants to know.
What?
How many classes do you race?
I've done them all. I kind of just run a class for a while, and then I don't really let the car sit around, because by the time I get back to running it again, there's probably going to be another car out.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I think I have 3 cars. I have 2 different 2-wheel drive V6.2s and my V74.1. But I mean, like I've kind of run it all. Like I used to race a lot of on road. I used to I raced 8 scale for a while. I raced, stadium truck for a while. I've done a lot of classes.
I want to race
kind of like you.
Yeah, if it's interesting to me, I'll race it. So I've raced on road, off road, all the various classes. I'm the 2010 Summer Series Truggy champ, Nitro Truggy back then. That was when Matt Howard was here. Matt Howard would run the computer, so I could run Truggy, and then I'd run computer, so he could run Buggy. It was a good time. But yeah, kind of like you. I just I've raced minis, mini Tamiya cars. Those things are fun. They were fun. They're not really that much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's just about everything that's available to us. I think you and I have both dabbled in.
Yeah.
I always come back to 2-wheel drive mod though.
Yeah, I'll always have a 2-wheel drive buggy in my my stable here.
Yeah.
Like that's the one class I'll always race. It's my favorite class, so it just always my 2-wheel always works.
Yep.
Like, and if it doesn't, I know I can make it work. And like, yeah, I just prefer 2-wheel. Like I honestly, like I might only run 2-wheel at the spring champs. I have such a better time when I just run 2-wheel.
Yeah.
I just enjoy racing 2-wheel.
If I don't get the B3, the B6.3 by the time the spring champs comes around, I won't be running 2-wheel drive at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It'll just be
well. If I have one, you can run my old car.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you want,
we'll see. It might be easier for me to just race one class, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more.
You'll just run 40 plus, won't you?
I would. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. I could just do that.
You could run my car 40 plus.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just do that. We got to fly through these because we're supposed to be done, but they're having a guys get on at 8:00. So
yeah,
we're gonna try to burn through a couple of these. Really quick, what's a joker lap?
It's where you can cut the track like one time in a race.
Yeah,
and there's a certain spot where you can cut it.
Yeah,
and like there's some tracks or some races that they do multiple joker laps. But you can only use like 3, and right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a strategy thing. Like you can use them at the beginning, use them at the end, save it for the middle. Like
we used to do joker laps a lot when we raced on Tuesday nights, because it was supposed to be more of a fun night, and so it was a strategy thing. Do you take it right away, or do you wait, or do you need to if you need to clear some traffic, you could take a joker lap.
Yeah.
Here's one. What is a sensor wire, and how is it optional? It's really first off, it's really only optional, I believe, in 8 scale.
And it just depends on your speed control too.
Yeah, that's true. But basically, Steve, a sensor wire is like what? Doesn't Steve have a? Oh no, he just said right here he doesn't have a. He doesn't have one yet, but he will. So basically, racers tend to use censored motors. Bashers tend to use sensorless motors. That's the way I look at it. Censored motors have better brakes, better acceleration. Sensorless motors are actually faster, but they have usually terrible brakes, and sometimes they can cog from a dead stop.
Yep.
And in 8 scale, a lot of times we actually take the sensor wires out altogether because our electronics make it so we don't have to, I guess. I don't know how to explain that.
Like the hybrid mode is like that we were talking about. It makes it so it uses the censored part of the speed controller. Like it makes it so it's censored up to a certain throttle range.
Yeah.
And then once you hit full throttle, it lets the motor keep accelerating. So it's kind of like how we were talking.
Yeah.
Like, bashers use it. You don't use it because it's faster. Well, that's kind of like it shuts it off when your car's already rolling. So you already took off. You don't need that smoothness anymore.
Yeah.
And you can just let your car rip.
Red Ryan, how can I get a new class going at my track? He races at Thornhill. My only advice to get a new class going at your track is to make sure that you have enough racers to actually populate that class.
Yep, and talk to your race director.
Yeah, that too.
Before you do anything, like, hey, we're gonna race this. Let's all show up at the track, and not tell the guy running the races. And you guys all show up with, weird car number 3, and nobody knows that you want to race it, and there's not a class for it, but you have 10 guys that want to run it. Like, you can't really do that to a race director. So it's almost like you need to go to your race director, say, hey, I want to try to build this class up. How many cars do we need to run this class at a club race?
Yeah.
He says, we need at least 10, so I have enough corner marshals for the next race. Okay. Then you can start doing the legwork, maybe build your car up, get it to the track, run it after the races or before the races during practice or something, let some people get some eyes on it and gain interest. And then that's how you kind of, get the interest to start a new class. Like, hey, that looks cool, or no, it isn't really going to work on our track. It's too big, or, but you have to have people that want to race it, right? And you have to make it look fun. Yeah. Sell the fun. That's how you make a new class. Sell the fun of a new class.
Yep.
So
very, very good suggestions. Way better than what I did.
Yeah.
Jason Haley, can we get a diagonal straight? Ooh. Oh, that's terrible.
It showed up for a second.
It showed up for a second. Oh, there. Wait. Oh. There you go.
There it is.
So I'm dabbling with the idea of another crossover. We did it right the first time. I feel like I could do it right again.
Yeah.
And that could get us a diagonal straightaway. So I don't know. We'll see. But that's what I'm sketching it out, man. I got a month. So is the track open tomorrow? It is after 4 p.m. When is the next Family Friday? It is actually it's Easter weekend, so it'd be April 2nd. We're going to be doing Family Friday, but no Saturday racing, but Friday night racing, yes. And then one more. Nuthouse just gave a $5 another $5 super chat, and he says, "Do it."
do what?
Do it. Crossover.
Oh. I love Nick Nuthouse. He's cool.
Probably get into B62D before Summer Series. It'll be the first buggy and need all the electronics. You did a video for a beginner. Is that still valid? Yes, it is, Steve. It is. It's a very good video. I actually rewatched it. I'm like, why doesn't this video get more hits? So, absolutely. And in independent, this is Sam. Sam Saunders is on here. He says in independent on Saturday he put new tires on and didn't have any grip. He didn't brake. He just had no grip because he didn't brake in his tires.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, bummer. All right, I think that's going to do it. We're right at it's 7:53, so that'll give these guys 5 minutes to prepare for the next podcast that's going to be recorded tonight. So
cool.
We'll call it good.
Yeah, we'll call it good.
There's a lot of good questions. That was really good.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Well, quality show.
Yeah, totally quality show. As always, this show brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. And I know from personal experience now that you can get yourself hooked up with a pretty awesome refinance loan or even a home loan if you're out looking for a new house. Get a hold of Pivot. They're in a lot of different places now all over the country. And make sure that you mention us when you talk to Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad. You can get a $500 lender credit or 0.125 off of your interest rate.
Yep.
I remembered that this time.
Ahead. Yeah. Then be watching the Facebook and stuff. We might be having a special mystery guest.
We have a very special mystery guest should be lined up for next Monday. So if you have not liked our Facebook page, it's the Hobbyplex Show podcast. Get on there and follow it. And we're going to announce our guest as soon as we for sure have them locked in. We wanted to say it tonight, but we weren't quite sure if we're going to get him for sure.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everything's confirmed. But this would be probably the biggest guest we've ever had.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And maybe that can get us up to 50 viewers at once.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
We were up to 27 today. at one time. So we're still kind of hovering around that 30 mark.
Yeah.
But we love you guys, but 20 more people at once.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Yeah.
I think that's it, right? I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, yeah, so keep an eye on that, and we'll be back next week. We are going to be doing after hours this week, and I'm going to be editing a new video tonight. I'm building a brand new crawler, and I got part 1 completed right before I got here. So,
okay.
Yeah, good stuff. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the show. That's a wrap, guys.
That's a wrap, guys. What are you still doing here?
Me?
Yeah, why are we here?
Oh, I don't know.
Why are we here? That's philosophical.
Yeah, you have to exist somewhere.
Yeah. All right.
Are we out?
No, are you out? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Hey, bye, guys. Thanks.